ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Honkai Star Rail. Now, picking up where we left off with the main story last time, and going to this place here, library. Picked up Castorice from the grove.
This is the Library of Philia, a place where the Grove stores its collection of tomes. Other than books written by the 7 schools, you can also find philosophical texts, ballads, and religious writings from the Outlands here. Cities that desired to learn from the Grove were apparently expected to contribute knowledge of equal value to what they sought. We've had more than our fair share of hilarious episodes over the years. For instance, it's said that the Erythrocheramists once borrowed a manuscript from a certain author, but ended up returning a copy instead of the original. What's more, the original manuscript was supposedly then hidden here.
That doesn't seem like a nice thing to do.
Nice? No need to hold yourself back, Danny. You can just tell it like it is. Their behavior was no different from bandits.
Well, if you don't mind, did the Grove ever rob Castrum Criminals?
You've got me there. Some said you couldn't even find a dictionary in Castrum Kremnos, so I guess they were spared. There are too many books in the Library of Philia. Flipping through them all will take too long. Why don't we use the Biblioslate to search for the texts we need? We can bring them back to Akama for reading after that.
Agreed. This place is safe. We should leave as soon as we're done. There are still several more scrolls strewn all over the place. I'll gather them up while you pull up those texts. This way, nothing will be overlooked. A record of the many research topics a Caprist scholar had applied for, and there were replies from their school sage about these topics. Topic 1. A discovery that many mythical beasts renowned for their longevity actually reside in areas with poorly managed birth and death records for such creatures. Permission to research. Reply. Lacks research significance. Not approved. Topic 2. An observation of real plants within the grove imitating the growth patterns of nearby white dryads. Permission to research. Reply. Falls under the domain of the Lotophagist School. Not approved. Topic 3. Investigating the feasibility of placing flying birds into rocket tubes to guide the direction of the rocket's flight. Permission to research. Reply. Too fanciful. Not approved. The subsequent topics grew increasingly eclectic, yet the outcome of the replies remained unchanged. Prison dynasty. Hopefully it helped him survive the black tide. These are complaint letters from the scholars about Anaxagoras the blasphemer. There's a thick stack of letters. Based on the dust accumulated at the perfectly intact seals, the complainee did not even bother opening them and just chucked them aside to the corner. This is about an Axa? I should read this. Hyacinth, you should come have a look too.
Ugh, it's so dusty in here. Whoa. Are these all complaints about him? I can already see what they must have written. Anaxa has no respect for the gods. His very existence undermines order in our society. They're probably all things like that.
Does Anaxa hold that much influence?
Why else would they call him the Great Performer? When Anaxa established his school of thought, the first thing he apparently did was read his own work to everyone. Are the Titans truly an accurate reflection of what humans think gods should be? Worlds created by gods are indubitably perfect, but what of Amphorius? Only foolishness and insensitivity everywhere you turn.
An uncanny impersonation. What happened after?
They marched him straight to the seat of judgment before he could finish. Though what he took on in the end was more of a debate than an actual trial. He had to address every one of the scholar's allegations, or face expulsion from the Grove. The first allegation was...
It was a kitty touch.
Do you agree that since the Titans created the heavens and earth, So the mountains,
Like it really
rivers,
is with these
and
days.
seas must likewise be their creations?
I suppose I'll put myself in Anax's shoes to answer that. As told in the myths, the seas, the skies, and the earth are all beyond the shadow of a doubt, and the earth are all beyond the shadow of a doubt creations of the Titans.
Anaxa would have probably been spared a lot of trouble if he had answered this way. Instead, he quoted past instances of the flame chase journey and posited that humans have the potential to take over the divinity of Titans. Needless to say, his critics didn't take kindly to his answer, so they followed up with a second allegation. You claim to be studying souls, yet you are, in fact, defiling them and committing acts condemned by the gods. Do you admit it?
That's a serious allegation. Did he really do that?
Anaxa always wears an eye patch, never removing it, even when alone. Some say he used one of his eyes as an alchemical ingredient.
He did.
Every
Bring his
being
dead
in the
sister
world
back.
owes their
Good work.
safekeeping to Kifili. And this is even more so for the Chrysos heirs who have divine blood coursing through them. If he has really done something of that nature, then it'd indeed be sacrilegious. Thankfully, they had no way to prove it, so it amounted to nothing more than an allegation in the end. One by one, Anaxa engaged in wars of words against those who would challenge him. Toward the end, a scholar asked him, Anaxagoras, have you any respect for the gods? It was only after a brief silence that he answered, I have never denied that Titans are meant to be noble constructs.
Well, he didn't say that the Titans are not noble. Rings louder in this case.
Yes. I'm not sure how that controversy was eventually resolved. But what's for certain, at least, is that Anaxa was allowed to stay in the grove where he continued his research, despite being regarded as a heretic. By the way, this stack of complaint letters has reminded me of a place in the grove. We may find clues there that aren't on the teleslate. I'm talking about Anaxa's alchemy lab, hidden between the cornerstones.
Given the Grove's meticulous approach to archiving, could there really be such an oversight right under their noses?
It's a well-kept secret. Among the 7 sages, excluding the nominal chief sage, each has a private sanctuary where they can conduct research undisturbed in their free time. Even the administrators of the Library of Philia are restricted from accessing those places and documenting the sage's research. But with the grove in the state, I'm sure Anaxa won't be mad even if we sneak into the lab for a short while. Right?
Who knows? Let's read this then. A book covered in annotations from many scholars. Its title is The Art of Sophistry, 40 Ways to Improve Your Debating Skills. You skim through it, and the highlighted methods include virtual causation, false premises, contradiction, conversion, conflating prevarication and reality, misinterpreted punctuation, misattribution, and generalizing specificity, among others. That was a lot of long words. Amidst it are scholars' exclamations. A true eye-opener. The art of language knows no bounds. If I can't master sophistry, I can at least learn to defend myself against them as an honest man, and so on. Last resort is, when all else fails, employ brute force. This isn't going to be of any help, that's for sure. Right in the water wheel. Here we are.
This is the place. But where is everything? The materials for alchemical experiments, the matrix diagrams, and even the seal to the lab. They're all gone. Did the black tide destroy it all?
The Matrix. No wonder we didn't see any defense mechanisms along the way. Have you ever been here before?
No, not even close. Not only are alchemy experiments high-risk activities, but Professor Anaxa also has a penchant for using bizarre materials. Students often saw him walk in looking right as rain, but come out covered in soap with his hair singed. Naturally, no one dared to come near this place. Huh? That bookshelf over there seems to be the only thing still intact.
Is it the one thing we need? Something or other. These are the materials requested by Anaxagoras. Documents from various fields have been compiled in one place, including Titan Creations, the University of the Soul, Alchemy Doctrine, and so on. Most of the materials look to be within the research domain of the New Sporist school of thought. However, a document titled A Study on the Chrysocea's Background is mixed within. These appear to be quick notes examining the background of Chrysoceas. The Holy Maiden of Yanissopolis, Tribi, Trian, and Trinan are descendants of the Holy Maiden from the Temple of the Three Fates. Gold Weaver, Aglaya of Occama from the Nestia priestly family. The Prince of Casham Kremnos, Hyacinth of the Twilight Courtyard, all of their ancestry have varying degrees of connection to the Divine Titans or their divine authorities. Does the golden blood come from the heritage of priest families or royal bloodlines? Anaxagoras, I myself show no such connection. Carefully the creator, what criteria did they use to create the golden blood, to shape the Chrysoceas? Yet Castorice, the servant of death from Idonia, her lineage is neither titan, priest, nor demigod, but he has walked the earth for at least a millennium with the power to grant death to humans. Where did this power come from? Another text speaks of the dragon legends of Styxia. The alchemical extraction of soul ripped from dragon corpses is intriguing. Dragons appear to be the Titan's creations. Perhaps there's a way to reverse the process, using alchemy to refuse human souls with Titan creations, increasing the purity and divinity of golden blood toward the absolute. This theory must be tested. Experiments to be arranged.
What's going on? Anaxa is conducting research on our friends in Occama and... me?
This channel contains several intriguing points. From the Abyss of Fate to Casham Kremnos, I've seen many a Titan creation during my time in Emporius. Life forms created by Circes can also be found in the Grove, but fusing them with human souls through alchemical means, I couldn't begin to imagine. Anaxa seems to hold special interest in the divinity coursing through the Chrysocea's veins, and has even conducted a thorough investigation into the hero's backgrounds.
It wouldn't have been so strange if he had focused only on Cassie, given her own curiosity about her origins. Plus, considering that the new Sporists have crafted omnipotent medicines capable of curing diseases, it also makes sense that he would conduct research on immortal Chrysos heirs. But now, it seems Anaxa's objective was never to create medicine, but to identify the origin of the golden blood and figure out its inner workings.
Through alchemy, Anaxa aims to refine the golden blood in the Chrysoceas to a degree of purity equal to divinity. This must be what he means by close to purity. By treating both Titan creations and the human body as materials to be used in alchemy experiments, that's rather extreme.
Danny, look at this. I have a bad feeling about this.
Ah boy, here we go. Hastily written journal 2. These documents appear incomplete. Judging from what's left behind, the important alchemical formulae have been taken away. Only the author's reasoning remains. The previous approach has flaws. Fusing human souls with Titan creations does not purify golden blood. Even pure Titan creations are contaminants to the Chrysocea's golden blood. Soul fusion between humans and creations merely repairs impurities of the soul or maintains a connection to dying souls. While creation myths tell us that Chrysoceas and other creations were all made by Titans, their nature differs fundamentally. The Titans' creations are no intermediate products of an alchemical process, and the Chrysoceas are closer to the Titans than the creations. In other words, I should not have considered Titan creations equal to chrysospheres. The hypothesis I should focus on is one pointed toward the Titans themselves. Such rare chances to study Titans demand a meticulous selection of research subjects. Living Titans prove impossible to restrain, and dead Titans offer no insights worth pursuing. But dying Titans, they're the perfect research subjects. Only by understanding the fundamentals of creation can we ensure perfection at the moment of everything's birth. To my own hands I will melt a Titan and reach the true essence of the soul.
My biggest fear. It's come true. After going through his notes, I think I can piece it all together now. Anaxa was carrying out experiments on soul transmutation.
Chimera? Do you mean he's trying to reconstruct human souls alchemically?
Yes, this is what he was secretly conducting research on. Something he had to keep hidden from others. Compared to his public speeches, this is the real blasphemy. Oh, I just thought of something.
What's wrong?
Do you remember when the Black Tide was approaching? The Grove had planned to send Circe's core flame to a safe place. But an accident happened along the way, and Anaxa lost his life in the process.
But Ceres took over his body and resurrected him, which led to the situation we're in now.
That's right. But what if Professor Anaxa's fusion with the core flame of reason wasn't an accident?
What do you mean?
Put yourself in his shoes. Knowing that the Black Tide was closing in and your time was running out, what would you have done?
I put my theories to the test no matter the cost.
Exactly. When the Black Tide came, the true reason Anaxa headed to the Luminary Throne was to transmute and fuse himself with the Titan's core flame.
Did he succeed?
No. Judging from how he reacted after the event, the results came as a surprise. Maybe he failed to consider the possibility that Circe would make a similar decision. The manuscripts detailing all the alchemical formulae have been taken away. His research is still ongoing.
Could he have taken them for other purposes?
Like, what? There's only one Titan left in the world now.
The Sky Titan.
No. No way.
To conceive an entity of perfection, one must first understand the principles of creation. If Anaxa is in Okama now, then that means...
He's after Kefali.
Well, yeah.
Sir, this sky above us, it's not real, is it?
Of course not. The day-night cycle has been lost, much
that's
like how
too
the
long.
sky...
So,
The Sky's Okama
You
effect.
mustn't conclude
Yes.
that,
Oh,
Anaxa.
they are.
Often people know more than they...
then they're just deluding themselves.
Kefali's tale of
People
Genesis,
believe in
the whole tale
Kefali's
is a
tale
mystery,
of Genesis.
different.
We have already realized
So much time. Why?
So much.
because
dialogue.
we'll...
As a sage of the Venerationists, but
I like
above
that
all
word,
else,
Venerationists.
my days are numbered. Instinctively, I
So,
have my
Golden
doubts
Veins
about the
work with
Golden
that.
Blood.
But I can, sir. I can do it for us.
You're right. Go.
Establish your own
Est-
school thoughts.
Find out what we are.
Oh,
Become
gosh.
the one who conquers the ultimate truths of the world.
Child of humanity,
Oh, he's here now. Oh, she's here now.
you didn't go to such lengths for an audience with Kefali. Just ask him a few questions, did you?
So, you figured it out. If I were as foolish as Adromus, perhaps I'd throw myself down and prostrate before their greatness, begging for the gods' prophetic wisdom. Well, sorry to disappoint.
Okay.
Before such power, does it make any difference whether you're a human or a Dromus?
I'm sure you're familiar with the story of the Styxians. When they call me a blasphemer, Circes. But that doesn't mean I deny the existence of gods. It's just, as I see it, Titans are simply a force that mankind has yet to find a way to tame.
Oh? If power that rivals the Titans is what you crave, why not conform to the prophecy and brave the trial?
Why stop at harnessing the power of the Titans when I can do... The source of life is what I wish to grasp. To what, thanks to you, I've had the chance to personally verify, in more ways than one, that the soul indeed... How then is a soul born? That was the only...
And by the sound of it, you have already formed a conjecture.
No. I have already drawn a conclusion.
I imagine you had to do it just now.
In my...
Professor Anaxa,
Huh?
I'm here.
What the fuck?
Her life hangs by a thread. I must ask you to refrain from taking any unnecessary steps.
Of course. I'll bring this to a conclusive end, and give you the answer you so desire.
Or you'll just die. You'd be like,
However, in accordance with the principle of equivalent exchange, I must also demand from you what I need.
What do you need? A death? Dying?
As you
Pain
wish.
and suffering? So,
Don't you care to know what the price might be?
It's a matter of uncovering the truth about the Death Titan and her survival. This may be the only time I can ever save someone's life. There is no need for me to think twice.
I see. In that case, let the show begin.
oh boy.
Indulge me. Am I correct to say that you intend to prove Thanatos' whereabouts and prove the nature of our existence now?
Oh boy.
Before I begin, I must confess I had been stuck in a cognitive trap all this time. As unrelated as these two propositions may seem at first glance, they are in fact logical equivalents. They are merely two different ways of telling us about what the soul is at its core. The reason I say this is as I've mentioned earlier. The answer was hidden in my journey unto death.
Anaxa, you were in the Netherrealm?
Yes, I am but a living dead man now, but that's not important. What truly matters is, I overheard a conversation between heroes. That's not all. Remember how I said you were a part of that conversation too, Circes?
And I've told you that I have no recollection of such an event. That was likely just an illusion conjured up by the mind of a dying man.
Of course you would remember. Because that wasn't you. That was Calypso, one of the 7 sages of the Grove.
Calypso?
That's the name I made up on a whim when speaking to this girl. How do you know of it? And surely you jest. Don't you think I, of all people, would know if that were the name of one of the 7 sages under the shade of my tree? Don't you claim to know the Grove's past like the back of your hand?
It seems you've lost even the memories seared into your soul. Use your head, Circes. Since all of this took place in the realm of the dead, it stands to reason their likenesses are of souls from the past. The living cannot step foot into that world, so who could they be? Think about Calypso. Why does she share your likeness, yet you have no idea who she is? The answer is evident, is it not? Those fallen heroes are the mortal incarnations of the Titans before their ascensions to godhood. The gods aren't master creators born out of thin air, and they are no different from humans, because they all evolved from one. Does this answer disappoint you?
Yes. because you've answered nothing. If I truly was once human, as you claim, then where do the children of humanity come from?
Even on the off chance that you speak the truth, this brings us no closer to grasping Thanatos' whereabouts. How are we to find them?
I knew you would say that. But it matters not. I know what I'm doing. Actually, why don't we have this supreme being standing before us tell us everything?
You can revive a Titan?
Humans cannot return from the dead. Neither can gods. But all we need to do is look at this from a different perspective, and the problem will resolve itself. The solution is simple. Just like what you did to me. If I'm reborn as Kefali, I can rebuild the world and all within it as they once did. Simple, is it not?
That's it. In the meantime,
I have news from Hyacinth and Dan Hung. Anaxa might be trying to do something with Kefali's divine body.
Kefali?
didn't you know that already?
But what could Anaxa want? Is the Council of Elders going to sit around and let such a sacrilegious act unfold?
Probably.
That is not possible. He is indeed the great performer, capable of fooling anyone and everyone with his tricks.
I'm sorry.
No need for guilt, for this is good news to us. The Council of Elders has found themselves a traitorous ally. Anaxa's ambitious desires will be something we can exploit. What we should be doing now is to keep our eyes peeled for whichever trickery Kynus is up to, and react accordingly to thwart her plans. Being Akima's political center, the Demigod Council holds just as much significance as the Vortex of Genesis. Someday, after my duty is over, this site will take the place of the battlefield where you hunt gods, become the next challenge you ought to overcome. Till then, it's best to get used to this place as soon as possible.
I see.
Preposterous! The Christos only have their standing because of the Council of Elders! How dare they trample over it!
Wow, these people are shooting daggers with their eyes.
It's been a while.
Hello. Oh,
What is that supposed to mean? Is this really the sort of person that the young lord praised as a ferocious warrior?
It has indeed been some time, Lord Crateros. What brings you here in such haste?
Shh, keep it down. Be more vigilant. See those duplicitous dogs over there? They do the dirty work for Kynus. I've already ordered my people to hold them back, but we should still lay low. Unless you're itching for a bloody fight to get a workout in.
My bad. So, did something happen?
Did you hear thunderclaps last night? Hacker, what?
She's been through a lot lately. Please pardon her. Can you tell us more about these thunderclaps?
Thunderclaps are beacon signals of strife. They are a message from the young lord. He threw a spear bearing several words at Akama.
Watch out.
The Flame Reaver is back.
Oh, I see.
I guessed as much. We didn't actually kill them back at the Kremnos Arena.
I figured this is something you would want to know. We Kremnoans never back down from a fight. So if you plan to take that thing down in a battle, reach out to me anytime.
You have my gratitude. I will let Aglaya know about this right away.
Remind her to be on her toes while you're at it. That vicious kindness has been unusually active lately. Those lackeys she keeps undercover have been going in and out of the city a lot more frequently these days. Some even seem to be getting Kremnoans to defect to the Council.
Stage scram.
Don't place that!
Son of a bitch.
That's...
Looks like you can see it for yourself.
We should get back. Thank you for the intel, Lord Krateros.
Oh, POV switched.
By Catholic into Lenten above, as the Theoros, I have observed.
Aglaya, what happened here?
I know about the poisonous fangs of that king snake through the golden threads. In the past, I would be confident about keeping her in check, but I admit I am now unable to do so.
What do you mean?
It is no longer about eloquence or arguments. I have been a demigod for far too long that I hardly have any humanity left. Before I realized it, I have become no different from these hypocrites, no longer capable of relating to the people. This has come a lot sooner than I expected. But perhaps it is time. I need you to step up, Finan, in order for me to retreat behind the scenes.
Yes, this is my duty, but...
It is far easier for the Council of Elders to fool many than just fool one person. Their so-called more support is no more than a ruse to distribute power using words instead of lances. There is no glory in winning this debate, but that makes having respect for humans so much more priceless. Finan, you are a Chrysos heir without flaw, capable of relating deeply with humans.
I appreciate what you've taught me, Aglaya. I hope we'll live up to your expectations and win this debate.
God, don't look at me. Freaking kindness, shut the fuck up, you bitch.
Oh, you've done well, Lord Calictus. Let me
Lord
take
Calictus.
over and personally close this debate for today.
Calictus D's nuts. In your mouth.
Dearest counselors, let it be known that I sorely miss the blissful times portrayed in lyrical poems.
No, you don't. Shut your ass.
Back then, Amphorius was home to nearly 1,000 cities, each with their own local faith, while gods walked the earth and shared close bonds with humans. Yet, in the present, people from all over are forced to leave their homeland to seek refuge in the holy city, where they hope to rest under Kethali's protection. All of us have long been in the same boat, with no way out of this plight.
No way out of decent
We didn't
lives.
have a choice in the past, but now, the Council of Elders brings to the table a new possibility. All I have left is one question for you. Would you rather strive toward the unheard of Era Nova?
Yeah, we would.
Or return to the prosperous Era Chrysia of our past?
No, no one gives a shit.
Make your choice. Now, which of the two would lead mortals to an ideal future?
Nova is a path of salvation the gods promised. We should not have doubts in the flame-chased journey.
We all know that Erechrysia is a thing of the past, Lady Kynus. Please, enlighten me. How does the Council of Elders plan to turn back time?
Let the three titans of calamity be born, and Erechrysia is nevermore. But bring demise to those titans, and Erechrysia will descend upon us again. Know that the Council of Elders is never one to make empty promises. Look at who we have on our side. Anaxagoras, one of the Grove's 7 sages.
Yeah, but we don't actually like
and Castorice, Idonia's goddess of death. With the help of these 2 heroes, I can promise all of you that Erechrysia will exist once more.
Aren't they Chrysos heirs? They're supporting the Council of Elders instead?
Well,
It's clear from the start that these heroes do not get along well.
In fact,
in
I
their
don't think
group.
either of them really are.
Proof that Aglaia is unfit to speak on behalf of every Chrysos heir. I am in favor of Erechrysia.
But like,
Erechrysia! Erechrysia!
Shut up, stupid bitch. That is not a good chant. Shut up, shut up, shut up. Shut the fuck up.
Castorice? Why are you standing over there?
You finally arrived, Anaxa. So have you, Cass.
Don't worry, Aglaia. Well, I know that you have many queries. Could you continue to converse?
Tell me, dear Sid, if we successfully retrieve and return Thanatos' core...
The answer...
He's one of the 7 sages.
Your proposal is much too...
Remember what I previously...
Tell
Tell me, dear citizen.
If we citizens...
After the destruction...
Erechrysia! Yes!
And they're cheering and listening.
Anaxa, pray tell. Everything that...
Thank you, Lady Aglaia. For Castorice, Idonia's god...
What? With that, thereafter, if we are able to garner the support of all of you at the Citizens' Assembly...
With the balance Akama has chosen.
No one loves you.
Aglaia, dear Aglaia.
Wag your tongue as much as you like. Since the flame chase journey has been preordained by the prophecy, our failure has never been on the cards.
Well then, I guess we'll find out if that's true at the Citizens' Assembly.
Likes announces the conclusion of the debate and the attendees part ways.
Well, it seems that when I sent you to look for Anaxa, I unintentionally facilitated your partnership with him instead.
My apologies, everyone. I know that you have many questions to ask me. I will answer them to the best of my knowledge.
In that case, please tell us as much as you can.
In actuality, he showed me a past that was both long and heavy.
I don't really care much for his past, to be honest.
The reason I say this is as I've mentioned earlier.
I don't care.
Anaxa,
I honestly don't care about your past.
you were in the Nether...
Yes, I am but a living dead man now. But that's not important. What truly matters is, I overheard a conversation between heroes.
Oh, we're switching to Castorice's POV now.
Have you heard of this tale before?
This is Polixia, his sister?
A tale about the ocean god's treasured pearl, our hometown.
Such Romilly.
It was a seaside town which enjoyed the ocean breeze and glorious, peaceful times, thanks to the wisdom of its ruling queen. Until one day, an evil dragon descended upon the town. Its wings were large enough to blot out the sun, while its claws were sharp enough to rip the waves apart. It barged into the tall tower and devoured the queen's beloved daughter. It even settled itself in her bedroom, like a tyrant king. The queen assembled 300 warriors who managed to subdue the evil dragon by chaining it up. However, when the queen slit open the dragon's belly, she realized that the princess had long since been digested, and all that was left of her was a pile of bones.
Whoa.
Devastated, the queen wept for several days.
What the fuck?
It was then that a devious, smooth-talking scholar arrived at the palace and suggested that the princess could be revived through the use of dragon bone and dragon blood. That liar called this process the secret art of alchemy. The princess was reborn! The queen was overjoyed, blissfully unaware that the evil dragon's soul still lurked within the princess's body. As revenge, the evil dragon swallowed the poor queen, the glib liar, the courageous warriors, and all of the town's innocent civilians in a single gulp. Worse still, the souls of the deceased refused entry to the Netherrealm because they were filled with regret. Forced to roam the mortal realm, these resentful souls ultimately converged into a river of souls that would not retreat for a long time. The terrifying death had consumed all. Thereafter, our hometown fell into ruin as well. Until... Actually, I don't know what happened next either.
Oh, my... It seems that you still like to whet people's appetites even after all this time, Polixia. So, according to your story, this is how I used to look? It's practically a mirror image. And yet, what exactly is this?
A miracle that I call...
My goodness, is this cliffhanger really necessary?
Quiet, Titan. Continue to enjoy this splendid...
Dragon, huh? I've heard this legend before.
In that case, what do you think of it?
I think that this so-called alchemy was a tenuous analogy added to the story by future generations. After all,
Indeed. Before I left home to pursue my education, I never even knew that anybody was looking into this area of study.
Therefore, we can just treat this tale as a fable told to young children.
A fable, you say? If so, what moral is it trying to impart to the kids?
I guess it might be the concept of equivalent exchange?
Oh? I thought the moral might be closer to something like honor the dead.
Huh.
What? At a loss for words?
No, I merely realized that we're both thinking of the same principle. If life is priceless, then there is hardly anything else in this world that is of equal weight to it, right?
Indeed. As expected of the wisest scholar in the land.
You flatter me. Why don't I ask you a question as well, as a form of equivalent exchange?
Of course. What is your question?
If I imparted my knowledge of the art of alchemy to you, would you use it to resurrect someone you loved?
What? What kind of strange question is this? I got it. You're just trying to get me to tell you whether I like anyone, right?
Let's just leave it at that. That was rude of me.
Yes, I would.
Oh?
Death is inevitable. In the days to come, I'm certain that someone whom I cherish deeply will leave me for good. If such a mighty power really existed, I think I would use it without hesitation. After all, you, me.
Yes, indeed.
My time is finally here. However, perhaps because of my firm belief in the immeasurable value of life, I am unable to complete the trial.
You shall wither, and through that, the dead will sprout again from the remains, and be reborn with the dead flame. It is a pity that fate is such a cruel mistress.
Is there no other way of interpreting those words?
I'm afraid that the meaning is clear. Between my sister and me, one must pay the price. Our trial can only be completed when the one chosen sacrifices her life. I'm afraid that the prophecy might even have selected a pair of twins for this exact purpose.
Fortune makes fools of us all.
My sister is prepared to sacrifice herself. And yet, I can't do the same. How absurd. My time is almost up, but I'm still afraid to welcome death. What should we do? If I'm ultimately not able to make up my mind...
Since Chaos is willing to guide all of us and leave this trial to the end, there is still plenty of time for you to ponder.
That's right. Don't allow the fog of an uncertain future to cloud your mind.
Trial, prophecy, the topics that they're discussing seem familiar. But these three people must not have left their names in the epics. Otherwise, I would have some recollection of this.
Amphorius's history before I have long held
Calypso, Polixia, and this warrior. I seem to have met him somewhere before.
Well, yeah, of course we did. Nice.
Regarding this matter,
the dude
Nias,
was like the embodiment
are you confident that you'll complete your trial?
Of course. Though, I am worried about what will happen once I've emerged victorious.
Looks like you have made up your mind.
Yes, this is the safest course of action.
Completely separating courage, honor, tenacity, sacrifice, and reason. You really know how to make things difficult.
Please, young lady, witness my fall and demise.
Okay.
Lady Calypso, you shall host the soul-rending ceremony.
I do not understand. Why would you dare to sacrifice yourself for a future that you won't get to witness?
Because this is our destiny. The power that resides within me is so intense that I will one day be engulfed by it.
Furthermore, a valorous death before glorious return has always been the path I chose to walk. A journey I began long ago. If your sister or Chaos were in my position, I believe they would make the same choice as well.
I'm not that brave. I don't know how I'm supposed to face such a serious affair.
Despite being Death's chosen one, it seems you still don't know how to face it. Let's chat, young lady. Perhaps I shouldn't end my journey so hastily. Since there's still time, I'm not worried about letting fate wait a little longer.
Of course. This warrior is Lord Anias. As the embodiment of Nikador's divinity, he entrusted his life to us and allowed humankind to end his madness. That means that what I'm currently seeing before my eyes is, in fact...
Looks like one hypothesis of mine has already been proven true. These heroes are the true forms of the Titans, before they attained their divinity. If so, the chosen one of death that he speaks of is actually...
Polixia? Is the previous form of Thanatos? But her appearance...
Your sister, I think?
If this is true,
the Death Titan?
as long as we can find out where she went, we'll naturally be able to figure out the location of the Death Titan.
But before that,
I think he's bullshit.
we first need to witness what ultimately happened to Lord Anias.
Don't you know? Don't you know?
Nikador's courage is a testament that they have never once retreated from a battle.
I've heard that these words are still engraved in Castrum Kremnos even today. It didn't occur to me that they were actually part of an alchemical formula.
Honor, courage, tenacity, sacrifice.
And finally, the only thing that remains is reason.
Cheer up, young lady. There is no need to shed tears over a glorious death.
All farewells in this world are sorrowful, Lord Nias.
No, young lady. As a warrior, I have witnessed too many bitter deaths. But now, all I feel is peace. I did not know until this moment that mortals could live their lives in such a way.
Although only a sliver of your soul remains, you remain so optimistic. Or maybe the truth is that you aren't able to feel sorrow anymore.
To be honest, I don't know either. But I am certain of one thing. This is not an acceptance of death nor apathy toward it. It's not even a feeling of despair. I am just enjoying what remains of my life to the fullest.
Enjoying?
Indeed. Along this journey that we've taken together, not only have I changed the world, I myself have also changed in the process. And now I have reached the journey's end. When I look back and see the grand epic that I've personally written, how could I not revel in that fact?
But when you depart the mortal realm, won't all of your accomplishments be reduced to nothing? Separation and death are two sides of the same coin. Reconciling this doesn't come easily for a mortal.
Finally, let me recount to you a story of mine, young lady. The first time I returned from the battlefield, I felt extremely hollow. The calamity had devoured everybody on the battlefield but me. When I returned to the city alone, the citizens held a banquet for me that was far from pleasant. I felt as though I was still on the battlefield, and the person who had returned was nothing but an empty shell. It was late into the night by the time the banquet ended. My head still reeling, I returned alone to the barracks. On the way back, I encountered someone. It was a crazed scholar looking at the night sky and muttering to himself by the side of the road. Although I tripped over him and fell, I wasn't angry in the slightest. And maybe because I saw myself in him, I inexplicably asked him a question. Do you think that it'd be better if we just died on the roadside like a couple of stray dogs? To my surprise, he shrugged his shoulders and sighed.
How does someone who is currently experiencing death, dying and living, afford the same amount of bliss? Now please go away and don't block my starlight.
Are you trying to say that there is no difference between living and dying? For they are both journeys that lead toward death?
That's exactly what life is, and death is, but a scale to measure how valuable the journey was. Journeys and epics are only glorious and magnificent because all things eventually fade to dust. Therefore, young lady, don't detest your fate. Instead, willingly and respectfully embrace it.
The embodiment of strife telling me about the majesty of the world.
Indeed. I believe that when the fated moment eventually arrives, you will be able to understand my words. It is time for me to knock on death's door. I will set up a long table when that moment finally comes. Let us drink and be merry then.
I see. I knew this day would eventually come.
Are the both of you ready?
Elixia. I'm here.
Huh? Huh?
What? This...
Excuse me?
This is quite interesting indeed.
Is this... Polyxia's sister? Is it... me?
You're the Titan of Death's sister, yes.
Now, it's time for us to fulfill our promises.
Question mark, question mark, question mark. It's obviously Castorice.
Are you afraid? What are you afraid of?
That I won't be able to do it.
You shall wither, and through that, the dead will sprout again from the remains, and be reborn with the dead flame.
That's not ominous at all.
As foretold in the prophecy, and according to our vows, once it all ends, we must face our fated moment head-on.
Even if it was prophesized, do we have no say in the matter? It's so unfair. Why are we the only ones who are forced into mutual destruction? Let me do it, sister. Let me be death's sacrifice. I was never long for this world anyway. But you're different. I was the one who wasted your life after all.
You're wrong, Polyxia.
She has a different voice now,
I don't think that my life was wasted. Just the opposite. When I finally arrived at this destination and looked back at the journey I took, I discovered that flowers had long since bloomed along the path I walked. It was you who sowed the seeds for this sea of flowers, one that is more beautiful than the promised land at the end of the world. Besides, I have lived a fulfilling life. Even though I was fated for sacrifice, none of the things that I've experienced will dissipate. Instead, they'll forever live on as memories inside your head. Will they not?
How could my memories of you ever compare to the actual you?
Well then, tell me. What exactly are we?
Sean, though.
I don't know.
I don't know either. But regardless of what the answer is, regardless of how we're shaped by others, or even by this world, ever since we were born, the fact that we existed was predestined, and nothing could erase it. This is why I will always, always be by your side. We're twins, after all. All right, my dear Polyxia. It's time to extract my heart and light the flame of death.
Huh? Extract?
After that, use it to plant the first bud in the prophesied new world.
My brain isn't braining right now, huh? Bro, Castorice is just standing there like, what the fuck?
If I imparted my knowledge of the art of alchemy to you, would you use it to resurrect someone you loved?
Death is inevitable.
Oh my god.
In the days to come, I am certain that someone whom I cherish deeply will leave me for good. If such a mighty power really existed, I think I would use it without hesitation. Even now, my answer remains the same. This is why, sister, I promise you, in the prophesized new world, I shall plant the first bud on your behalf. Go now. Return to the ocean god's treasured pearl, our hometown. I shall open wide the entrance to the Netherrealm and grant you a second life. The living beings on this earth shall respond to my call and lead you to the sacred daylight. Remember, do not look back on the land of the dead, and do not stop moving. In the new world promised by the prophecy, march toward your new life. As for the price of our equivalent exchange, let me be the one to pay it.
Everybody, we've come to the end. I'm certain of this now. Just like the flame chick.
What a startling revelation.
I believe that this is the truth behind the era.
This is utterly unbelievable. Besides, those twins in the past, even if they really are Thanatos, their whereabouts are still unknown even today.
One of them's right here!
Are their whereabouts truly unknown? Didn't Polixia mention that seaside town?
And one of them is standing in front of you.
The tale of the dragon. In our world.
Sweet Jesus.
But the people there worship Fagusa and bear no relation to Thanatos. I've also never been to that place, as in the time of Idonia, it had long turned into underwater ruins.
Take this.
This is...
the new Sporist, Master. Remember?
The Philosopher's Stone.
I've mentioned before that think about the story of the dragon.
You still look as confident in your victory as ever. But what if your conjecture is wrong?
Could be.
Simple. However,
right.
actions speak louder than...
I've already searched for so long. I'm willing to try one more time. While we converse, her life is also slowly slipping away. But before I leave, I have another question. What exactly did we witness just now?
It was a vision.
That was the world imprinted in Kefali's soul. If we are to prove its
I understand.
Ugh. So an axe is
Hey, child of humanity.
Don't get antsy. As a scholar.
I merely... If so, rebirth...
Why not? When I was a child, now I'm merely forsaking my body.
Why are you always finding ways to die? Isn't it good to be alive?
This is but a necessary sacrifice on my...
Can someone who's dead even claim to be the purest of them all? Furthermore...
No. It's just... It means that I can actually...
ascend to godhood. Bro's insane. Currently.
That's... a lot to take in at once.
Lady Aglaia, please, let me explain.
Go on.
You know that the core flame of death has always been the greatest unknown regarding the Era Nova, which is why both you and Cainus desire to gain the power to control that core flame in the approaching Citizens' Assembly. Professor Anaxa has come to a consensus with Cainus. They want to suspend the trial once Thanatos' core flame is reclaimed, hoping thus to eradicate death from this world. If they're successful, then the flame chase journey will cease, and Akama can enjoy everlasting peace. But I know this runs counter to your wishes. So long as we do not usher in Era Nova, the Black Tide will never be eradicated. Even with Lord Mighty on the front line, and the Black Tide not posing an immediate risk, the danger nevertheless remains. Honestly, it's difficult for me to assess the pros and cons in this decision. But someone must bring the core flame before we can begin negotiations over it. The Titan could be very near. I cannot let this chance slip by. Besides, someone has to make this trip to bring back Mrs. Soul.
Well said. You already had every reason to seek an audience with Thanatos. It's that great performer who has weaponized your wishes and placed us in this difficult situation. A world without death. Do you desire that too?
If fate dictates that my path must oppose yours, I will do all I can to resist it and protect what I aspire to achieve. Lord Mighty showed me that without taking the first step, all talk of what follows is moot.
Moot. I don't know what that word is.
I have always hoped to hear you speak your mind, Cass. And I am glad to have heard your true thoughts. Styxia. I visited that place in the past. Though it is now an island surrounded by the river of Soul's torrents, it's not hard to see its former splendor. Go. I will not stand in your way. As for you, you are someone who has cheated death. I believe you have more than enough reason to make the trip with Castorice and meet the god of death himself. Castorice, I too look forward to your journey.
Part of me wonders if it's just going to be like a spitting image of
What kinds of new
Castorice
interpretations your completed story will bring to the flame chase journey.
Or if it'll be,
Thank you, Lady Aklaya.
what's her face?
I hate to put a damper on this heartwarming moment, but if Styxia is now an island surrounded by the river of Soul's torrents, then how do we find a way in? Lady Trebe is probably...
The answer is quite simple. In the myths, Zagreus once made the domain of the dead their treasure vault. That is to say, they could enter and leave the nether realm as they pleased.
Zagreus trickery, Tyson.
And if they could do that, then it follows that the demigod who inherited their divinity must be capable of the same.
Gotta find Cypher.
I'll see you at Memorial Palace at Action Hour tomorrow. Cypher shall be your guide to finding that ancient city.
The tumultuous day finally comes to an end. Everyone disperses, each lost in their course.
Hey, friend! Is the debate finally over? Did you win? Oh, that means victory is around the corner. Well, moving on. I was hard at work even while you were at the debate. I borrowed a mountain of books from Cass to see if I could find a way to solve your problem. Let's see. I still have only 32 books to go. Really? Oh, that's fantastic news. I knew it. Hard work always pays off. Especially if you're as diligent as Ma'am. I feel like a huge burden has finally been lifted off my shoulders. Why are my eyelids so heavy all of a sudden? You're right. Then I'll go back to...
As was their custom, Mem, with astonishing dexterity, slipped back into their secret little hideaway. Good night, Mem. Good night, Akama. It is nighttime now, right? Later, somewhere in Okuma. Okay, we're going somewhere else again.
Cass? What a surprise.
Lady Treby.
Is something troubling you?
I just wanted to speak to Lady Trian for a bit before I set off. No matter how breathtakingly beautiful Styxia once was, the place is now the domain of the departed. There is no telling what we'll encounter there. I don't want to have any regrets.
Has anyone told you that your eyes are sparkling today?
Is that a figure of speech?
In the past, when you did smile once in a while, all of us could see that your heart remained troubled even as you smiled.
Lady Treby, you know perfectly well that see you tomorrow is nothing but a white lie. I hope your toughness is not a mask hiding a lonely heart.
Cass, you hardly ever talked of your past. None of us knows what you went through, apart from Maggie. But we know it must have been filled with pain and hardships, as it is the fate every Chrysosaur is destined to live out. We are just happy for you that the core flame you're meant to inherit has finally surfaced.
Isn't it a little too soon to say that?
But you already know where tomorrow is, don't you? There is no need to rely on anyone else. Just give it your all and leave no regrets. We have always believed that your embrace is just as warm as everyone else's.
Cute.
Because we embrace others to comfort them. And Cass, you're the kindest Chrysosaur we know.
Thank you, Lady Treby. This feeling, it's hard to put into words. I suddenly found myself with so many wishes. So much I want to accomplish before setting off.
And go do it, Cass. Trian was actually working on a surprise gift for you. It's a pity she didn't get to finish it. But now Trinan and I are working on it, and we'll make sure to give it to you. So, let's meet back here when you return from Styxia. Safe travels. See you tomorrow!
I mean, there really isn't a tomorrow in Okuma, is there? I can't sleep. Door knocks. Who could that be? Probably Castorice. Am I right? Oh, look! It's me! Whoa! Spitting image. Am I looking at a mirror right now?
I hope I didn't wake you. I'm glad to see you're as full of life as ever. I'm here because of private matters, actually. If it isn't too much to ask, I'd really like it if you could come along with me to retrieve something.
Why do I feel so sleepy all of a sudden?
Is your soul...
My will has become under the universe. Goodbye.
Huh? But I can still sense your soul here. Sorry. I didn't realize it was a joke. It isn't a long way from here. Shall we?
Oh my god.
Have you heard? Seems like all the rooms are...
Can I just like overtake you and run all the way there? Wee. Wee.
The streets are packed. It seems the vote to pause the flame chase journey has begun.
I want to vote! Tell me how I can vote!
You have to be over 18.
Take your ceramic shard engraved with the Kefali rune. Select the... The Titans are just...
Oh, please.
And I pray
that was quite a spectacle. I suppose peaceful is technically correct if no actual violence happened. To this day, I still find it almost unreal that Akama is the only place illuminated by light amidst the crumbling ruins of Amphorius. And its people are even holding votes to reconcile differing opinions. This peaceful sight is making me forget that this is the end times. Before coming here, I had lived for many years in Idonia, a city of rime and frost. The people there were devotees of Thanatos, and were well known for their unique burial rites and traditions. Traditions that I played a major role in. Yes. You now know me as the Mortician of Akama. But back in those days, I was Idonia's Maiden of War. I was trudging across the frosty plains on my own when the Idonians found me. They saw the curse in me as a blessing from Thanatos, and believed that my hands could correct the Erechrysia's mistake and lead them to meet the great god of death. They provided me shelter, but in return, I was expected to grant merciful deaths to war captives, prisoners bound for execution, and heroes alike. Yes. No matter how kind or cruel the means, nothing can change the essence of death. Taking away someone's life is never worthy of religious worship. I can't do it.
What? She looks the same, but her voice is so much higher now.
They pierce my ears. The bleeding. The thanks.
But you must
What you're asking me to do is no better than the task of an executioner. And yet you want me to respect myself. No matter the titles, I am still taking away human lives.
This won't be the first. Death is the
That's such a twisted reason.
Then let me tell you a story. In Idonia, the sword has 3 arrows. But should the execution, every execution, pain.
No. I can never get used to this.
I'm asking you to go. Walk with the dead.
Weirdo.
Please! Don't kill me! I don't want to die!
This is your due.
Thank you. I beg you, don't listen to her.
If you cannot learn to accept death, this is your last chance. Do it.
No! Please! I don't want it. No!
You gently touch the prisoner's forehead with your finger. His face is pale, his eyes flicker with fear, and his body trembles uncontrollably. Is it because of fear, anger, and hatred, or is your so-called merciful touch of death simply a lie? The dark purple models spread like petals across the death row inmate's face, then seemed to be submerged by spring water, flooding his body. His trembling ceased, and the cries that once begged for mercy slowly turned into a sigh like whimpers. Quickly, everything falls into a dead silence, turning into pitch black dew that scatters with the wind. You hear your own heartbeat drown out the sound of heavy
May
breathing.
you gain some insights through his sacrifice.
Is this all?
No. This is just the beginning.
You executioner!
They're trying to tempt
Holy maiden!
Go. Grant her glorious death.
then.
What the hell?
I curse you.
Why? When will this ever end? You murderer!
Come.
What are you trying to do with me?
I had a final resting.
You're not that old yet.
No. I'm already dead. I have come.
I can't take this anymore.
I've always
This is fucked, dude.
Never.
Indeed.
We simply abducted you.
Yet
What
you
the
can end any sin.
I'll never do that. It doesn't matter how lightly the Idonians take death, or how readily they accept it. I simply can't do it. What do you mean?
I've taught you. In the eyes of an idol, you can own. And when?
No. How can I?
Come now. Show me that you. Come now. It's time. I've already taught you all that I know. Show me that you are a fitting holy maiden.
Nope. Pause and save. Because this is the end of this episode of Honkai Star Rail.
The hustle and bustle of the
I
world.
hope you did enjoy
So
this
charming.
episode of Honkai Star Rail. We learned more about Castorice's rather miserable and rather disturbing and rather sad past. But yes, I hope you did enjoy. I'll see you in the next episode. Goodbye.